I have two Java files on my desktop, Book.java and BookTest.java. I'm going to drag my mouse over them, highlight them, right-click, and hit Edit with Notepad++. Okay, both of them popped up in tabs, but I'm going to take this one and I'm going to rip it off. I'm just going to drag it off because I want to have them side by side. And I'm going to put Book.java on the left and BookTest.java on the right. Here we use the keyword class and we give this class a name called book. And this has three instance variables: string name, string author, and string category. Those are things that we know about the book or things that we want to know. Each time we create a book, we want to create a name, author, and category for it. We have three methods that are like actions that go with this class book. We have void checkout book, void read book, and void return book. And each of these methods just uses the system.out.println to spit out a string. This one being you are checking out the book, this one being you are reading the book, and this one being you are returning the book. This file itself is not actually making this happen right now. What happens is when we come over here and we create this object reference of the class, and then we use like the b1.readBook, then we're calling the read book. At that point, from this side, from this class right here, calling this method will cause you are reading the book to spit out in the command prompt window as a display. Okay, let's look at class book test. Keyword class, just like this one over here. This one we're going to call it book test because we're using this to test this class to the left. We have public static void main string args. This is kind of like our power switch. This is where our program starts. And we're creating four object reference variables, B1, B2, B3, and B4. And we use the name of the class, which up here the class name is book. So we say book, then we give it a little name, B1, kind of short for book 1, equals new book. So this whole line right here is going to allow us to use this B1 with a dot operator to access the name, the author, the category, check out book, read book, and return book. It's going to allow us to access and modify any of these things. Okay, well, it's only going to modify them on this end. It's not going to actually change it permanently on this end. For instance, it's going to call these methods and it's going to set name, author, and category, but it's not going to permanently set it in this file because B1 is going to set those to a specific name, author, and category. B2 is going to set it to its own name, author, and category, B3 and B4, and so on. Okay, so creating, I already went over the first one, and these three are the same way, just repeats. Here we're going to use that object reference variable to access things inside of the class. So we have B1, the dot operator, and then one of the instance variables. Here's name. So B1.name equals sign, and then we're going to give it in double quotes, grapes of wrath, because it is of string data type. And strings need to be enclosed in double quotes. And then, of course, don't forget your ending semicolon to end the statement. And we're going to do the same thing with the author. B1.author equals the Angry Beavers and the ending semicolon. And B1.category equals thriller. Okay, so we set the object reference variable B1. We set these three instance variables. We were able to do it because we used this code right here, book B1 equals new book. Now what I want to do is I want to use the system.out.println command to output something based on what I just created right here. I want to show the output. So let's see, I'm going to say book 1 and a space. Then I'm going to use plus b1.name plus and then in double quotes again, another string, book 2, colon and a space, and then I'm going to say plus b2.name plus book 3 plus b3, 3.name, and lastly plus book 4 space, and then concatenate b4.name. All right. Book 1, book 2, and you see how when they're in double quotes, the strings are like a light gray, and this the value of b3.name and the value of b1.name, those are not enclosed in the double quotes. They're outside of the double quotes. We're going to show the value that I just created here for here, here, and here. Now, notice I'm requesting b2.name, b3.name, and b4.name, and we didn't use those. We didn't create any name, author, or categories for the other ones. But I want you to see what Java will do when you try to ask for something that hasn't been created in this situation. Okay, so let me go to my command prompt. Go to my run. CMD is already there. Hit OK. Alright, here's my command prompt window. I have to hit CD for change directory and type in the word desktop because that's where my files are. My files are right here on the desktop. Now I'm going to compile Java C. That's how I compile. And if I was going to pick between the two, the one that I want to compile is the one that has this statement, public static void main string args, and that's the book test, and up here in the tab it says BookTest.java, so that's what I want to compile here. Java C BookTest.java, and hit enter. It's thinking, it's going over the code, looking for errors. Okay, when it gives you the path again like this with an insertion point and no errors, then you know it compiled cleanly. And over here you see how it created the booktest.class file and the book.class file. When it compiles cleanly, that's what it'll do. It'll create the class files. And if we right click, and this is basically review, if I right click this and hit edit with notepad, you'll see what those class files look like. They look like schlong. I mean, you just have no idea. This is just for the machine, for the computer to understand. We understand the Java files. The computer understands the class files. All right, back to where I was. Now that I've compiled cleanly, I have to use just the Java keyword with the name of the file and no Java extension. So just Java book test, hit enter. Now we're going to see the results. Okay, I wonder if I can make this a little. Book 1, Grapes of Wrath, and look, there's no space right there. I needed to give it another space. Book 2, null. Book 3, null. Book 4, null. Let me clean this up space-wise, and I can do that by going down here, and where the book 2 starts, I'm going to do a \n right here, \n, and that'll give me a new line so that those words won't be smashed together, and it'll look neater. And then I'll do the same thing for the other lines. Okay, now let me hit save, come back here, put my insertion point back here, hit my up key a couple of times until it goes to this command Java C again, and hit enter. We're going to compile it again. Anytime you make any changes to your code, you have to recompile it. So you have to Java C command it again, and then it's going to think about it, and then it's going to give you the path again, like it just did. At this point, you can click the down key, and your Java command should pop up. Then you can click enter. You don't have to retype it over and over again. Now I got book 1, Grapes of Wrath, book 2, null, book 3, null, and book 4, null. I would like to capitalize 1 because 2, 3, and 4 are capitalized, so I want to keep this looking uniform and neat. Um, the reason we're getting null is because we haven't, it's not referring to anything. I mean, it's connected. We've created B2 equals new book, B3 equals new book, and B4 equals new book, but we haven't used the B2, B3, or B4 like we did with the B1s. So it's not, we didn't, we didn't modify the name, author, or category to something. So therefore it's null. Now, all I need to do is to copy this whole section right here. And let's go down a little bit, make some room for all this. And hit Control V. Change all these to B2s. And then go down a couple more. Paste it again. Change these to B3s. And one more time so that we can get all. Now let's go with the B4. Okie doke. So what name might I want for the second book? How about the book that I'm working on right now? Head First Java. And the author, oh, I don't know. Let's see, the author, Kathy Sierra and Bert Bates. Okay. Kathy Sierra and Bert Bates. And the category, computer programming. I could put Java programming, but I'll just put computer programming. All right. And then what third book do I want? Oh, it doesn't really matter. I could make something else up. Let's say we're going to make something up. Holiday cookbook with the authors Hungry Henry. Hope that's nobody's name. I don't want any copyright issues. Category cookbook. And the fourth one, oh, I don't know. Oil painting. And let's say the author is Merry Magic. And the category, I don't know, art. All right. So now we have satisfied B1, B2, and B3, and B4's name. So let's see, that's been saved, this has been saved. Now let me hit my up arrow again until I see the Java C again. Remember, I've got to compile this all over again since I've made some changes. Hit enter. Wait for it to think and double check that there are no typos, syntax errors. Okay, it's fine. So I hit my down arrow, which takes me to the Java. Hit enter. Let's see what we got. Book 1, Grapes of Wrath. Book 2, Head First Java. Book 3, Holiday Cookbook. Book 4, Oil Painting. All right, one thing we haven't done is I haven't called any of these. I haven't called out any of these methods. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like getting lost in thought here. So let's do that. I'm going to go down here under this. I can move this up a little bit. I don't need this many lines in between. I like to leave some space in between sections of code because it makes it easier to refer to. So let's say B1 dot checkout book. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to give me the words, "You are checking out the book." I would like it to indicate the specific book that I'm checking out. I wonder if I put b1.name in my parentheses if that'll actually do it. I'm guessing. I'm gonna compile this again and see what that does. All right. If it gives me an error, it means that I'm doing it wrong. And I have an error. Method checkbook in class book cannot be applied given types. b1.checkoutBook, b1.name. Required no arguments, found string, reason actual and formal argument lists differ in length, one error. Okay, so take that out. b1.checkoutBook, the same, the same way that it's spelled, checkout book with nothing in the parentheses. So let's save that. And let me compile it again. Actually, I'm getting kind of messy here, so if you want to type in CLS, we'll get a clean screen. That's for clear screen. All right, let me still go up to my Java C, compile it, and let's see, down to, oh, there. Sometimes you have to put it up. I had to hit my up button to find Java and run it. You are checking out the book. So it actually called this method, and that printed out "you are checking out the book." That's what this did right here. But I want to put the name that refers to that. b1.checkoutBook. Can I concatenate it? Plus b1.name. Not br. b1.name. Again, I'm guessing. Sometimes it's just as fun to play than to just follow the book every time. Okay, Java C, BookTest.java, BookTest.java 42. This is what it's saying, line 42, error, not a statement. b1.checkoutBook plus b1.name. I know how I could do it. I know how to do it. You see how this is "you are checking out the book" all on one line? Let me see if I can't do this. b1.checkoutBook system.out.print. Not print line, just print. Okay. Oops. Even though this looks like it's going to be in two lines, I want to think it's that system.out.print is going to give me what I want up here. So let's see if that happens. System.out.print, and I don't need any string. I just need the value of b1.name. All right. Save it. Let's recompile it. Up and enter. Down and enter. Oh, no, it didn't. You're checking out the book. Grapes of Wrath actually shows up underneath. I wonder, can I concatenate? Can I concatenate those two? Let's try it. Error, not a statement. Okay. In any event, I got B1.checkoutBook. Whoops. Let's have them all do something. B1.checkoutBook, B2.readBook, B3.checkoutBook, and B4.returnBook. Okay, save it. Go back here. Let's compile it again. Java C, enter. And it compiled cleanly, so now let's find Java. Java book test, enter. See what we get. All right, book 1, book 2, book 3, and book 4, we've got the names of all. You are checking out the book, you are reading the book, you are checking out the book, you are returning the book. So B1, B2, B3, and B4 all were able to access methods. And they all were able to access instance variables and give these instance variables values of their own. So I'm going to stop at this, and the next thing I'm going to work on will be some arrays.